Hey guys, I'm making this video because I'm frustrated with the way that most Americans think about voting, or at least most people that I know, and I'm assuming because I've traveled so many places that this is a general consensus across America. Most people, when I talk to them about voting, they think of the presidential election, and that's as far as it goes. They never consider voting for the lower levels of government, which I think is partially, a fiction that's created in our media and in our own minds, and also it's this idea, this greater idea of frustration about voting that most people have in general. So the first thing that I want to say is that the president is not as powerful as everybody makes them out to be. We have three main branches of government: our president, our Congress, and the Supreme Court. All three of these levels of government share power. Our Supreme Court makes laws that our Congress has to follow when passing bills that then go to the president, and he can choose either to pass or to veto the bills. So they all share the power of creating all of the laws that govern America. So the president doesn't have all-encompassing power. So we need to focus not only on the presidential election, but also on these other two forms of our government. Now, if you're not convinced just by that argument alone that we shouldn't just focus on electing the president, then I'd like to ask you this: where do our candidates for presidency come from? Most are going to come from Congress. Most of our presidential candidates have either been senators or House representatives. They were in Congress before they ran for president. So if you're not voting for who goes to your Congress, then you're limiting your options for who your president will eventually be. Now, who becomes our senators and our House of Representatives? Again, those people usually come from lower forms of government, such as mayors and governors. And who ends up sitting in the Supreme Court? Usually they move up from other forms of our justice system, such as our lower district judges. So if you're not voting in all levels of government, then you're not participating in who gets into those higher branches of government and eventually become the president. So now that we've looked at the reasons why we need to be voting for not just our president, but everyone else in our government and judiciary system, let's look at how you're supposed to do this. Well, first of all, obviously, you have to register to vote. Unfortunately, for those of you who have not already registered to vote for this year of 2016, it's too late. But for those of you who have, you've received either in paper form or electronic form this. Now, I know a lot of people never even look at this. They get it, they throw it away, or they toss it into a corner. They never open it up and actually see who's in here. And even if they do, they just say, oh, I'm Democrat, I'm voting on the blue page. Or, oh, I'm Republican, I'm voting on the yellow page. Or less likely, you're nonpartisan and you're voting on the white page. They never actually take a chance to go through and find out who these people are and what they actually represent. Now, I know that that can be difficult. It's not always easy. We're not usually talking in our media, again, why I said that this is a problem with the media, about who these lower forms of government candidates are and what they're representing and what they're doing. But the good news is you can do your own research. You can go on websites like VoteSmart and the candidates' personal websites, as well as local news who have highlighted these people before, to see what these people represent, what their ideas are, and whether or not they align with you. So this year, when you go to the ballot to vote, don't vote blind. Actually do your research beforehand and know who you're voting for, know what issues you're voting for, and know that by voting in a smart and well-educated manner, you're creating a better future for yourself and your community, not only on a local level, but also with a trickle-up effect to our federal government level as well. Thanks, you guys. See you later. God, it's hot. Why the F am I wearing all of this? Whew.